Stotts-O-Scope. It's educational, it's informational, and yes, occasionally it's painful, but Jeff tries to limit the pain. Every week we tap into Jeff's knowledge and passion for injuries, which he definitely has. And this week we talk about eversion ankle sprains. I've never even heard the term. What does that mean, Jeff?
Well, we've discussed high ankle sprains, and now I promise by the end of this we're going to cover all the different varieties of ankle sprains that are out there, so everyone understands what's going on. So when you have your garden variety ankle sprain, it's an inversion ankle sprain. And let me grab my shoe here. You got the shoe here, and so kind of big. Sorry, I got huge feet. On normal ankle sprain, you kind of roll in. You know, your foot comes in like that.
Yeah.
And that puts stress on the outside of the foot. Now an eversion is the opposite way. So this is my toe, the foot comes in, okay, like that. And a lot of times that's where you have the problem with the eversion ankle sprain. Now the difference between the two are the ankles on the outside are a little bit more flexible and they have more give to them, so they're easily sprained. The ones on the inside, if you can see here, this is the deltoid ligament, and it's triangular shaped and it's super strong. And it's a little bit more designed to really take the pressure that comes with an ankle sprain. However, it's so strong that a lot of times the ligaments won't sprain, but the bone will break. And the other thing you'll see is just the bony congruency of the ankle. When you turn that into that eversion way, you know, you put stress on the outside on that outside bone, and you can get a break on the other side too, because the bone they hit each other and are not quite made to fit like that. So the eversion ankle sprain is definitely not necessarily a sprain, but more of a mechanism injury, which leads to a break. And this was the case with DeMarco Murray. If you watch the play against Dallas, you know, you see him turn his foot inward, not outward. And he suffered a broken ankle. He's going to be out for the season. He's been placed on the injured reserve. He's going to need surgery. Obviously, as a Cowboys fan, I was pretty hurt, but, you know, having him in fantasy circles as well hurt me. It looks like, you know, it's not something that's going to hamper him in the long term. You can kind of see there in that picture the foot's going outward, not inward. And that's, you know, like I said, the ligaments are so strong on the outside that a lot of times the foot just breaks. And that actually can be a good thing. You've heard people say, you know, sometimes it's better to have a break than a sprain, and because they can go and surgically fix it and restore the bone, and the integrity of a ligament is a lot harder to improve. So with Murray, I think there's plenty of hopes if you hold on to him in keeper leagues that he'll be back in time for next year. The Cowboys are familiar with this injury. Last year, their stud rookie Des Bryant suffered a similar injury and was back in time for training camp. So, you know, I think for this year, obviously you got to move on from Murray, but for long term, I think he's going to be fun.
So an eversion ankle sprain, meaning that it's on the inside, it's not always a break. Sometimes you just sprain that as strong as that ligament is?
It can be sprained, but it's a lot harder to do, and because of the way the ligament is structured and the way it is arranged. You know, these ligaments can strain, they can get overstretched, but again, the integrity of the foot there is just so strong because of its design that oftentimes the bone breaks. You know, you can get a sprain on the inside. You've seen it a couple times, but it's a lot less likely to happen. You know, I think I've covered it maybe once in each one of the sports, but, you know, your foot just rolls naturally. I mean, if you just, while you're sitting at your desk, you try to roll your foot outward, it's really hard to do based on the makeup of your foot. It's difficult to do. And you often don't get hit from the inside of your foot out. You often get hit from, you know, the outside, someone coming in and rolling your foot.
So all things being equal, is an eversion ankle sprain worse or a high ankle sprain in general, as far as time to come back and how it heals?
Generally a high ankle sprain, just because it's a different joint altogether, and a lot of times you can have complications going all the way up into the foot. But it really just depends on the degree of damage. Both have a high incident of accompanied fracture, and you actually saw with Murray, he had the break as well as a high ankle sprain. So really the eversion for me is more of a mechanism of injury. You're not going to see a whole lot of eversion sprains, but more of the way it happened, leading to other things like the high ankle sprain or the break.